the 2018 midterms going to be remembered? Will it be for how the election ended with split control of Congress, Republicans claiming victory for keeping the Senate, or will it be remembered for the Democrats winning 30-plus House seats and freeing one of the chambers of Congress from Republican control to put at least one check on President Trump? Well, it could also be seen as a Republican victory of sorts. Here's the map showing every House race in the nation. And yes, Democrats certainly won the majority, but there's a whole lot of red still on this map. It's probably not going away anytime soon. Again, eye of the beholder. Most experts now say the new Congress will be even more polarized and divided than the last one because more moderate Republicans were replaced with even Trumpier Republicans, and moderate Democrats gave way to more progressive Dems. Now, that increased ideological purity, so the question is, could it lead to the end of every Republican in the Northeast? That's not an exaggeration. If Democrats win the last contested House race in Maine, there will not be a single Republican in the House of Representatives from New England. Amazing. It's a trend that's certainly not helped when the president goes name-calling Republicans who sensibly ask the president, please, in the 11th hour, don't come campaign for me.
Bob Eugen, I feel badly because I think that's something that could have been won. That's a race that could have been won. John Faso, those are some of the people that, decided for their own reason not to embrace whether it's me or what we stand for, but what we stand for meant a lot to most people.
But if Republicans lament the exodus from New England, from metro areas, and from those suburbs, Democrats not doing cartwheels completely tonight. They lost 3 seats in the Senate, could lose 2 more. And again, the map in the year did not favor them, though a lot more Democrats than Republicans on there. But as you see the map, you get it. A lot of red here. That's got some Democrats worried about how red that same map might be in 2020 when it's Trump on the ballot and it's electoral votes at stake here. Times, Brett Stevens, he said Tuesday should be a warning to the Dems, urging the party to build bridges to the other America. And his colleague Nick Kristof pretty well described Tuesday as a Democratic draw or even loss, requiring painful lessons to fix. Yet, Democrats, they got 35 seats and counting, I should say, in the House. They could pick up a couple more. They flipped 7, possibly 8 governor's mansions, important with the 2020 census. In a normal year, under normal circumstances, that would be easily considered a Democratic wave, but given this president and all the bad headlines that surrounded him and the favorability or lack of favorable readings, some say more. Bill, let me first start on the Republican side. One Republican left in New England. Maybe.
That's happened before, though.
Yeah,
it was Crochet's.
He was here on Tuesday night. He said, I've seen this song play.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, what the president did. I said this last night, it bears repeating. John Faso stuck his neck out at the president's request to vote for an unpopular health care bill that he knew would hurt him in the district because reportedly the president personally asked him to. He then goes and does it, and not 24 hours later in the Rose Garden, the president says, that was a mean bill. We got to get a kinder bill, after he asked Faso to go on point. And then he's got the chutzpah to go out there, I did it for you, Richard, and say, John Faso, shame on you. I'm going to kick you. I'm going to kick dirt on the grave here because you didn't want me coming around your neck of the woods. Oh my God, will this ever, since the elephant's the symbol, be remembered by Republicans by the lack of loyalty of this president to his foot soldiers?
For congressmen like John Faso, you were put into an impossible situation where you've got this rabid base out there and you've got to talk to them. And then,
but he didn't get a thank you. He got a middle finger.
Right, and John didn't even vote for Trump. He voted for the Libertarian. And still you pay the price for the voters on the left and the independents that want to punish the Republicans. You're stuck in between. It's a terrible position. Nationally, I think it was a bit of a push. Northeast, wipeout, total wave,
it's a great
absolute
way to make
wave.
sure that every Republican in Congress is beholden to Trump, isn't it?
But I don't know. If you ask me to make a tough vote, I'm going to think twice about it the next time because you're going to turn on me like a bad dime.
Yeah, but if you vote no, he's going to turn on you like a bad dime also.
But at least you say you got a spine. I mean, I'm not talking morally. I'm even talking politically.
Then may that do you. You and your spine back home in your district, not in office anymore.
He wiped out the people who care about this.
Yeah.
The people who left are the base. And it's not going to get any better. Those idiot Democrat columnists that you were talking about, there were 3 elections on Tuesday. A Senate election in a third of the country that happened to be in Trump territory, rural America, almost entirely. The Republicans did okay. Gubernatorial races in half the states, Republicans got clocked. And a House that at least 35 seats flipped over and the Democrats are in control. What do you want? Well, that was a smashing victory for the Democrats.
Brodsky's right
Mr.
on this one. Mr. Brodsky, he's right on this one. It was a good night for Democrats. I have no idea what they're talking about, those columnists.
Well, how about this? If you start projecting ahead to 2020, you were talking about some of the governor's races that went real bad. Democrats not going to win Kansas in the presidential election. Democrat won the Kansas gubernatorial race.
4 years.
In Ohio,
Kansas?
in Ohio,
No.
yeah,
Presidential.
No, yes, but the Kansas gubernatorial doesn't come up again for 4 years.
No, I understand that, but Kansas has a presidential election in 2 years. You're saying it was a great night for for Democrats because they won governor's mansions.
Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Kansas, New Mexico.
That's fine, but Wisconsin, some of the other races that were in Wisconsin, yes, I know Scott Walker got booted by like 12 votes. But they're not. The Democratic Party is not exactly in great position to win Wisconsin in 2020.
By the way, does
from
your
what we
opinion
saw on
change?
Tuesday,
Wait, does your opinion- Hold on
Ohio
one
elected
second.
one Democrat of all the
Does your
statewide
opinion
offices.
change if Florida and Georgia somehow change after recounts?
To a certain degree, yes. But I'm still going back to the last election with the Midwest. Democrats need to get back into the Midwest.
That's where they got back in. Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan.
And Howard Dean over here.
I mean, for crying out loud. What do you want?
Well,
like to
I
see
tell
them
you
do
what
better.
I want is it's become more red and more blue.
Yes.
Okay? And forget whose fault it is. It's where we are right now.
That's not true.
Of course it is,
Democrats won a
Richard.
seat in Oklahoma. The Democrats won a seat in Oklahoma. What do you want?
I can tell you for a fact that moderate Republicans are a vanishing breed. And the ones that have come in now, if you're not hard right and a Trump loyalist,
I agree with
you have an electoral, difficult, if not impossible,
The
needle to
Democratic
thread.
Party recreated itself on Tuesday. Young people, diverse people, moderates, as well as
All right,
progressives.
so here's
the
my
party
question.
looked good.
He's right. You got Muslims,
He's right.
LGBT, Native Americans, but you think they're going to play kumbaya and get behind whether it's Nancy Pelosi or somebody else? Or do they run the risk that, they want to burn down the thing here between now and 2020?
I would say probably they want to burn down the Congress. But what I'm concerned about, but wait a minute. You were right up until this
I'm
point.
still right.
But what I'm concerned about is the lack of experience that they all bring in with all of that new blood. New blood is a good thing. And when it comes to the presidential election, you're dealing with such strong personalities. You can't deal with the map of today to say it's going to hurt Democrats.
New blood. You get new blood, and you're criticizing for not having experience. What do you want, new blood or old blood?
Honestly, I'd rather have people that have tenureship and can really get things done.
Yeah,
That's my personal. That's my personal preference.
Because you people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but
Except for you.
and
You're pretty good.
And I say this with love and respect, Richard, but that's the attitude that will run Democrats into the ground in 2020.
That you don't know what you're talking about?
No.
There's a majority
no,
for that
No.
answer.
That there's no right answer. There's no one clear path. Democrats have to make sure that they're reaching out to everybody,
Yes,
that they're expanding their base.
that's why they won.
But this whole like, we did great. What are you talking about? We did fantastic. Like,
Bill,
if you wind up with that attitude,
Just
Democrats are
one
never
second.
going to.
Is the Republican dream that the Democrats have a ton of hearings on Trump in the first quarter next year, or is it their nightmare?
It's probably their dream.
Depends on what's in them.
I think the ultimate Republican nightmare would be Trump doing tons of deals, as he would say, with Nancy Pelosi and leaving them hung out to dry. And then he will have taken their party, and then stuffed it. That's the biggest nightmare.
Which is what we thought
Would happen.
would happen, and it didn't.
And it didn't. 2 years ago.
No, it did not. Coming up next, a local impact of the midterms. Cuomo, he had a good night Tuesday, re-elected governor of New York, got unified control of the state government as well, whether he liked it or not. So what will they do with that power, and what shouldn't they do with it? We'll go local next.